the smile that stayed. The photo was found in the bottom drawer of a cedar chest, wrapped in yellowed tissue, nestled between an old silk handkerchief and a bundle of letters tied with twine. He had that smile, the kind you remember even if you never saw it in person. Bright-eyed, full of fire and good intentions. The photograph was faded at the corners, but the boy in the uniform looked timeless, as if joy had found a way to resist the war. Emily turned the image over. On the back, in neat cursive, James, 1942, before deployment. Sent with love. She stared at it longer than she meant to. She wasn't sure what had made her open the chest that afternoon. Maybe the light, maybe the silence in the house after her grandmother passed. The attic had always felt like it held its breath, waiting for someone to ask it the right question. James. She didn't recognize the name. The letters were addressed to "My darling Evie." They were full of small things. Descriptions of a dusty base in North Africa, hand-drawn flowers, jokes about mess hall food, promises to take her dancing again. But after 1943, the letters stopped. There was no mention of his return, no wedding photos, no closure. Emily brought the photo downstairs and set it on the kitchen table beside a mug of tea that had gone cold. She called her mother. Who was James? There was a pause, a long one. Oh, sweetheart, her mother said. That was Grandma's first love. They were engaged. He was drafted right after she said yes. I don't think she ever really got over him. What happened? No one knows exactly. She said he went missing. Not declared dead, just gone. There was a rumor that his unit got caught in a sandstorm and never made contact again. But she kept that photo by her bed until she met Grandpa. Emily glanced at the image again. His smile hadn't changed. Do you think she forgot him? She just made room for life to keep going. That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about how someone so full of light could disappear into dust. About how we leave pieces of ourselves in drawers, in letters, in people who carry on. The next day, she scanned the photo and posted it in a history forum, asking gently, does anyone recognize this man? Unit records? Anything? She expected nothing, but 3 days later, a message came. I think this is Lieutenant James Whitlock. I'm a military historian. His unit was part of Operation Torch. Some soldiers were recovered from an abandoned field station in Tunisia, but they were never identified. One was buried under the name Unknown Lieutenant. The description matches your photo. Emily's heart thudded. She took a road trip a month later. A modest white headstone waited in a military cemetery overlooking the sea. It read, Unknown Lieutenant, buried with honor. She placed the photo at the base and whispered, You're not unknown anymore. She didn't cry, not right then. But later that night, as the sun dipped low over the horizon, she read one of the old letters aloud. My dearest Evie, if I don't come back, don't hold on to sadness. But remember this, I loved you with a joy most men only hear about in songs. Keep dancing, even if it's alone. That's how I'll find you. James back home. Emily framed the photo and placed it on her desk. She began writing a story, not just of James and Evie, but of love interrupted and remembered, of a smile that outlived war, of how even the forgotten can be brought back with a single question. Who were you, really? And the world, if you listen gently enough, always finds a way to answer.